Hi, this is Katie. So I'm sure you could tell I'm not in the car, and you could probably tell I'm not at someone's house either. I'm actually in a hotel. And so I just want to tell you guys really quickly why I got a hotel this weekend. So it is Sunday morning right now, and on Friday, this is a real long story, and you guys know I can drag out a story, but I'm gonna make it really, really short. On Friday, I went out to eat for lunch and I accidentally had gluten. I ordered a gluten-free meal. They just brought it out with gluten and I didn't know until after I ate it. And so after I ate, I felt really run down. I got that, like headachy, super brain fog, exhaustion feeling. And then a few hours later, I was already parked at the truck stop to go to sleep. And that's when the stomach issues kicked in. And then the next morning, which was yesterday morning, I still wasn't feeling great, but I was feeling a little bit better. So I ate some food and my body didn't love that. And so I just started feeling like worse again. And so I just decided last night at about 5 p.m. to get a hotel. And then I just decided about a half hour ago to get another night for tonight. And so I just booked that as well. And it's so weird because I've never gotten a hotel before from being sick. Anytime I haven't felt well, I just stick it out in the car. But this time I just felt so sick and so like overwhelmed about it, that I decided to get a hotel for myself for a couple days. Because as much as I say, and I do, I like sleeping in the car. Like I enjoy sleeping in the car. I'm very comfortable in the car, even though a lot of you guys don't believe me. I am very comfortable sleeping in the car, and I'm okay in the car. There just comes a time when you're, like a certain level of sick, when you don't want to get sicker, that it is just helpful to, take an extra step and take care of yourself. And in my situation, just how, I thought might be helpful was getting a hotel room for a night. And now it ends up being for 2 nights. And so I'll leave tomorrow. I'm still in the Minneapolis area. But it's so interesting because I have been sick in the car before, but I've just kind of dealt with it. And after last night getting this hotel, I've really thought about, I wonder if I dealt with it just because I really, oh, my battery's gonna die, hold on one second. So last night I was thinking, why have I never gotten a hotel before on the road? If I'm really, really tired, feel really run down, if I don't feel well, why have I never gotten a hotel before? Because a lot of you guys ask me if I get hotels every once in a while to kind of rejuvenate or to rest or whatever. And the reality is that I feel very rested in my car. And I actually like waking up in my car. I always feel a little bit more, what's the word? What's the opposite of lazy? If I'm staying in a house or something for too long, honestly, I feel like I get a little lazy, but when I'm in the car, I'm not as lazy. I feel like I get more stuff done. I feel like I get more work done. I feel like I'm on the road more. Obviously I'm on the road more, but I feel like I am just living a little bit more when I'm on the road. And that's different for everyone, obviously. Not everyone feels that way, but I just almost feel my mental best most of the time when I'm in the car. And so I was kind of curious, okay, well, have I never gotten a hotel before just because I haven't really needed one because I'm okay in the car? Or was it to prove to myself that I don't need to get a hotel? Or was it to prove to you guys that I don't need to get a hotel? Or was it because I didn't want to mess up my channel? Or was it because I was trying to just push through? I couldn't really tell. And I was just really thinking about all that stuff last night of why do we do the things we do, And I think it's a combination of a lot of it. I think I haven't, because kind of I just haven't needed to. I'm super comfortable in the car. If I have to run to the bathroom in the middle of the night at a truck stop, obviously it's not ideal, but it still works. I'm okay with that. And I know a lot of people aren't. And I know a lot of people judge me for the way that I live, but judging anyone just isn't very healthy and it's very unnecessary. And so I think it's okay if I get sick and I have to use a truck stop bathroom. Again, it's not ideal, but it's just something that I have to do, and it's not a big deal for me. Especially, there's a lot of things, once you do it once or twice, you kind of just get used to it. But I think part of it, yeah, it was just I didn't need to. Getting a hotel's expensive. Sleeping in the car is basically free. I think part of it was to push myself to see how strong I am, which I think a lot of the time is okay. I actually think a lot of the time that's really healthy, to push yourself, to get out of your comfort zone, to see what you're capable of. And if you're living a very, how do I explain this? If you're living a life in your comfort zone, you're not really going to experience how capable you are outside of your comfort zone. So I think part of it was that. I think part of it was just to kind of prove that I could, which can be unhealthy in certain situations, but I think the way that in terms of this specific situation, I think was okay. But yeah, so just yesterday I just kind of was like, Katie, get a hotel. I don't necessarily feel more rested in a hotel or in a bed, honestly. I know a lot of you guys just assume that my back really hurts, that I don't sleep well in the car, but my back does not hurt when I sleep in the car at all. And I do sleep really well in the car. So it's not necessarily that like I needed a better night's sleep, because I slept in a bed last night and I woke up still like 4 times in like 6 hours. Like, I've never been a good sleeper no matter where I sleep, but in the car, it's just as good, if not better, than in a bed. Again, I know a lot of you guys don't believe me. I'm gonna get into why I keep repeating that in like a second, but no, but it was still just kind of nice to sometimes just completely shut my brain off, watch TV, not have to think about where I was sleeping, not have to think about where I was gonna use the restroom, not have to think about any of that. Just to shut my brain off, let my body heal, rest, and also to be near a bathroom just in case I got sick again. And then so right now I was gonna check out and I'm just like, I'm just still so tired that I feel very like in my thoughts right now. And I was like, you know what, I'm already here. I'm just gonna get one more night so I can kind of figure some stuff out and not be so overwhelmed while I'm in the car. Because if you're overwhelmed and then like you're in the situation that's overwhelming you, you might not be able to figure everything out as well. So now that I'm in the hotel, I feel like I'll be able to like kind of sit myself down and figure the things out that I'm thinking about, if that makes sense, in terms of the traveling and the car stuff and not feeling well. If you're in the situation, sometimes it's hard to figure that out. But when you take a step back, sometimes it's easier to look at the situation from a couple steps back, if that makes sense. I A, do not feel well, but B, I'm very, very in my head. One of the reasons that I kept saying like, oh, some of you guys don't believe me is like, so many people judge people for being different and for choosing different lifestyles. And you guys know I really, 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 really hate that. And I don't like using the word hate, but I hate how judgmental people are and how much people attack people for being different, just living different lives or choosing different things that they enjoy, choosing different things that help them cope or that help them calm down or that are fun for them. We're all different, guys, you know? And so I like being on the road. I feel more productive when I'm sleeping in my car, when I'm on the road, when I'm in places I don't even know people. Like, I feel more productive. So I'm like, okay, I have to go do this. It hit me last night because I was like, wow, am I getting a hotel? And then like, am I nervous to tell YouTube because of the comments I'm gonna get? And I'm like, well, that's not the life I wanna live. That's ridiculous. I wanna make sure that I live a life, and I want you guys to make sure that you live a life that you feel fulfilled, you feel successful, you feel like you're being kind to other people, and you feel joy within your choices. And it's not gonna be every single choice. Obviously, we have to go to the doctor for checkups, which is not like something that everyone enjoys, but it's something that you're taking care of yourself. You're reaching your goals, even if your goal is like, I wanna stay mildly healthy, so you're gonna go get checkups. But it's just all about awareness about you personally, because we're all so different. Just like people's body types. Like, some people do really, really well eating like a keto diet or a paleo diet. Some people do a little bit better having a more plant-based diet for themselves. We're all different. So it's the same with mental health. It's the same with lifestyle. So I think it's just kind of important to keep yourself in check. And that's really what I did last night. And I'm gonna do more of it today, of just, okay, well, why am I doing this? I wanna make sure I'm not living my life just to do it. I wanna make sure I'm not living my life now because I'm just used to it or comfortable. I wanna make sure I'm not doing it just to prove to people or myself that I can. Like, we know it's okay to change our minds, right? I think so many people, myself included, get stuck, but we don't even realize that we're stuck because we're doing things that we used to enjoy or that we don't hate, you know? And so I feel like it's just something that we don't even really think about. But if we really actually spend time, sit ourselves down, we might realize that, and it's okay. It's okay if we don't like things that we used to, or if we like things that we used to not like. I didn't like onions until I was like 26, and now they're like my favorite food. Before that, they disgusted me. Like, people just change, you know, and it's okay to change, but being aware of that change is important. Otherwise, you're being inauthentic to yourself, and you're actually going to continue to live the same life, but it's going to either be worse for you or something else could be better. And so it's okay to actually think about those things and figure out what they are, what you need to change and what you want to do. I want to make sure that, yes, that I am growing and learning and pushing myself, because that's important to me, but I also want to make sure that I'm living a life that I enjoy and that I think God wants for me and that I think is helpful for me and other people. And that is going to look different for everyone. And it's also going to look different for you at different stages in your life, you know? You know how sometimes you think you enjoy something, but then you kind of realize after a little while that every time you do it, you're anxious or just not excited? I think it's important to check in and realize if you're doing things because they're good for you, or if you're doing things because everyone around you is doing them, because they were good for your past self, because they're expected of you, because you are comfortable, because you're feeling lazy, because something is wrong, or if it's because they're good for you, they're fulfilling, they're leading you on a really good path, they're helpful for you and your family, and they're bringing you closer to God. Like, I think it's just important to check in, because it is so easy to continue to have the life that you've always had and to not really even notice if it's what's best. And that can go with hobbies, that can go with jobs, relationships, anything like that. There are certain things in our lives that we're doing even though we probably don't want to, and they're not best for us, and they're not necessary for our lives. But also there's things that we're not doing that would be helpful, would be beneficial, would bring us joy. And some of those things we don't know about. Like, I feel like there's so many things in life that I just don't know that I would enjoy. But there's also things that we do know that we would enjoy, but that we don't do. And then that's like a whole nother discussion of like, why are we bringing ourselves away from things that would cause us joy? Is it because we don't think we deserve it? Is it because of some sort of depression? Is it some excuse that we make? It's like, oh, I don't have the time, or I don't have this, I don't have this, when in reality, it's like, you could set 20 minutes aside every day to do something, you know? But that comes out of maybe fear or stuff like that. So like, there's stuff we're doing that we don't want to do, and then there's stuff we're not doing that we do want to do. And it's just like I hope that like everyone figures out those things, and then like changes their life a little bit accordingly, so that they're actually being fulfilled and like doing what's important to them and taking care of their responsibilities, obviously, but on top of that, do things that fulfill them. And also hopefully the things that you have to do fulfill you as well, because you're realizing that they are keeping you alive even, you know, or keeping your family alive and well. It's just getting to a point in my life where I'm just double checking with myself, sitting myself down, having a heart-to-heart, a one-on-one with myself, and just making sure that what I'm doing is something that I want to continue to doing, because I think it's healthy and helpful and good for me, because we are all so different. So judging other people for their paths is pointless. If you care about the person and you want to be helpful, that's different, because people sometimes need help, and sometimes people don't learn things until they're put into a certain situation or talking to the right people. But also people learn things in different stages. So there are certain things that I've learned recently at 32 that some people learn at 20, that some people never learn. And while the first step is that it's so important to realize these things and think about these things, it's also so important to realize that like you can change your life. Whether it's a small change or a drastic change, it's all possible. It's gonna take hard work and smart work, like actually working in the right direction, but it's also possible, you know? And so I think it's important to give yourself some grace, but also to kind of be hard on yourself and make sure that you're living the life that's right for you. So anyway, to tie that all around, I'm in a hotel right now. Obviously I can rest in the car because I've done that a million times, but again, I am just feeling like staying at a hotel for one more night will be okay for me. And that's okay, because I also don't have to, no one has to explain all the choices that you're making, especially if it's not hurting anyone. You know what I mean? Like, my lifestyle's not hurting you. I just really want to share the idea that everyone is different. Let's love everyone for who they are, but also who they're gonna be, because it's so important to grow and learn and change in life. It is so important. And if you're staying exactly the same for years and years and years on end, if you're super fulfilled and happy with that, then that might be okay. But if you feel something missing, or you feel like, I don't know, and you're kind of like, you feel a little off, then I think it's important to take some time and think about it. And that's kind of how I feel right now. I feel a little off, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it has to do with where I'm traveling or how I'm traveling or what, I don't know. But the thing is that it's important to just sit yourself down and think about it. So that's what I'm gonna do today. And hopefully I will come up with something that's a change that will make me feel a little bit more, you know, like when you get that feeling, like when you make a right decision and it feels like settled and calm, that, you know, like that level of like, oh yes, like this was a good choice to make. I want to have that, because right now I feel on edge and I feel confused and overwhelmed, and there's a lot going on that I haven't told you guys, you know? And so that's another reason that judging is just so bad too, because you never know what's actually going on. You never know how sensitive the person is. You never know how sick the person is. You don't know what's going on in their personal life a lot of the times, especially when you're talking to strangers. And so judging someone like, oh, that person looks like they haven't showered in 3 days, and because they're walking down the street, maybe they haven't. Maybe they had an abusive spouse and they just left. You know, like we never know what's happening in someone's life. And so I think that spreading joy and love and praying for those people, even the people who are being mean, I want to pray for them and I want to love on them, because obviously they're going through something and they're not even happy with themselves in a way that it's like spewing out of them to strangers. Like, that's sad. And so I don't want to be mean to the bullies. I want to love on them and be like, you know, you're probably going through something rough, or you probably have some thoughts that have not really been like thought. You know what I mean? Like, you haven't really like figured them out yet. And that's okay. We're all on different journeys. We're all on different paths. I think just the most important part of it is just be aware of it, not bring others down with you, and spread love as much as you can. But yeah, so I'm going to spend a little bit of today at least just kind of thinking about where this like confusion is coming from, and see if I can figure out how to change it or alter it, or just do something different where I am feeling a little bit better. And I'm also going to rest and eat some bland food and lie down a lot, because I just still don't feel well. But it's good to rest. Everyone needs rest, mentally, physically. And so I'm gonna think about all that stuff, and then probably mentally rest for a little bit too, because sometimes I think I push myself in an unnecessary way that's maybe potentially not helpful. And that's okay. It's okay to learn things about yourself. It's okay to admit things about yourself. It's okay to be like, oh, you know what? Something that I've been doing for a long time that I thought was good, or that I thought I enjoyed, or that I thought was helpful, isn't. Or maybe it never was and you were wrong. Maybe it just isn't anymore. You will only learn that stuff if you really, really think about it. And so that's what I'm gonna do. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you're not already. I'm going to probably leave tomorrow and head west. So my next video will probably be like of the drive, and the video after that, you'll see where I'm gonna be for at least the next few weeks. And so yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being so supportive. So many of you guys are so kind and so sweet and so loving, and it's just so nice to see that out of humanity. So I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for always being there with me. And yeah, that's gonna be it. Subscribe. Make sure that you're subscribed. Ring that bell. Follow me on Instagram. Okay, that's gonna be it. I love you. Jesus loves you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.